Fail big.
Yeah.
Fail big. Fail big.
Fail big.
Fail big. Fail big. Fail big. Fail big. Fail big. Fail big. Big, 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 big.
Fail big. Fail big.
Fail big. Fail big. Fail big. Fail big. Or go home. Fail big.
And then you go home.
Fail big.
Well, what do I do if I mess
Fail
up?
big.
But they might laugh at me.
And then pack up your drums and go home.
Oh, what?
Hey. What? Hey.
So we are back. This
Yes.
is... So we are episode 7. This is part 3 of a 3-part series called Expiration Date. Episode 1 was Why
one.
Wait.
Yep.
Episode 2 was Release. And today is Fail Big. Fail Big.
Right.
So now that it's out there, we did the thing that was just a vision. It was just an idea. It's out there. Everyone can judge it. Oh my God, what are they going to think of me?
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to think of me? What do they think of me? What does it matter? What does it matter? Does it matter? What do we do with it? What? What now?
So you have to be heard or seen. So you got to get out there. You got to play shows, or you got to visit recording studios, or you have to hire a PR company. Here's a way that you can fail big. Hire a PR company to promote your record, and you'll see, because sometimes that doesn't work at all. Oof. And sometimes it totally works. And it can be a risky thing.
What do you mean it doesn't work? In what way?
Well,
like they don't do their job?
PR,
or...
No, even if they do their job, they aren't in control of how their connections are going to react to it. So if they're good at their job, they'll hear your thing or see your thing, and then they'll say, "Oh, my friend so and so, I think will like this," or I have a connection at this magazine that covers that genre or whatever it is, and they'll help to plug your art into the right places promotionally, and newspaper, print, radio, magazine. I mean, most of it's digital now, but there's a lot, there's still papers and articles and blogs and vlogs and all kinds of stuff that you can get connected to. So a PR thing is a good idea, a PR campaign. And some are more old school, and they send things out to an ignorable email list, which people don't necessarily always dive into. And other people are more targeted about, okay, I think this person or this person at this paper or this person on this blog is going to like your thing, and they have a little bit more of an individual approach about PR. I would look for that. But no matter what, you're still not in charge of how people are going to react to your art. So that's why you have to not be afraid to fail big. And let's put it this way. Do huge top-selling artists all use PR firms and agencies and promotion companies to push their records? Do they all? Do all of the big successful big artists use PR in some form?
In some way, probably.
Yes.
Probably yes.
Does everyone who uses PR, does everyone who does a PR campaign succeed at that level? No.
A square is not always, a rectangle is not always a square.
So it's like, does it guarantee that people are going to react a certain way? No. Does it help to get you on the map? Yes.
Yeah. People know you exist. You have a chance to fail or succeed.
Exactly.
Or build. I think it's a good time to bring up that analogy I was talking to you about. I was watching a video, and this guy said, when do you start loving someone?
Oh.
When was the moment that you started loving someone? Or you could look at when was the moment you were in shape? What moment did you get in shape?
Right.
What was that moment that you were out of shape? Now you're in shape.
Right.
What was that moment? Or was it a process? It was a process. What about close friendships? Like, when did you become close friends? What moment? What event? What date did it happen?
Right. It's not like that. Life isn't
When did
like
we
that.
start trusting each other? When was that?
Oh man, I mean, life is it there. I don't know when that moment is. It's not a fence that you jump over.
Yeah, it's like this. It comes from consistency, from small little things, one thing after the other. Like, oh, I can trust Brian with that, or
Mm-hmm.
in my home, or um, whatever, to do the thing. And I'm thinking the same thing. Oh, Phil, I can trust him to do this, or that, or
Mm-hmm.
to do the thing and do what he says he's going to do. Cool. Oh, I can trust Phil to not crash the car when he gives me a ride somewhere,
Right.
It's like little things that are unspoken all the time
Right.
that add up. And then eventually that equals something.
Right.
So you're building upon these little seemingly minuscule things that in themselves aren't anything really notable,
Yeah.
but they all add up and equal to the thing. Eventually it's like, I got there. I succeeded. When we look at like any famous artist of any
Although
kind.
there is, I would even challenge that with the same argument of being like, when do you know that you got there?
Right. I don't think you
Because
do.
I don't think you ever really do know.
You're in the storm. You're not looking in on it.
You're like, a marathon runner isn't like celebrating on the sidelines. Like, they're just in the race.
So I have a funny story about that. Another small band. I'll save their name for the punchline.
Hmm.
So, let's see. My friends in a band called Pulley on Epitaph, they were on a tour with Lagwagon, and I can't remember the other band. Maybe it was No Use for Name, and this other smaller band at the time that was really coming up. And they're doing their thing. They just released an amazing album, one of my favorite albums to date. Reason I bought this drum kit.
Okay.
And Joey Cape, the singer of Lagwagon, he goes to one of the members. He says, "You guys are selling 92,000, 93,000 records a week."
Whoa.
And he's like, "What are you doing here?
Wow.
Go home. Go do this is your time, And they're like, "Huh?" They're in the eye of the storm, so they're not looking in on it. They don't see the success. They're in it. They're radiating success.
And that's cool. They shouldn't go home. They should just keep doing it. That's great. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, to some degree.
What he meant was go home and do your thing, because they're opening up on this little underground punk tour.
Oh, okay.
And their name happens to be Blink-182.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Crazy.
right? And Joey's like, "Dude, you guys this is your time. Go enjoy it. Go do your thing. Get off this tour and go do the thing." And so they did.
Okay.
They left and they went and beat Blink-182.
Wow.
And they were selling, it was Enema of the State. They were
Wow.
selling 93,000 copies a week.
Unheard
A
of.
week at what, $20 a pop back then in the 90s?
Dang.
And even with the 85-15 split, that's a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
A week.
That's a lot.
And so, again, I'm sure they've had a bunch of fails and successes, and now it seems like just success. But, to the public, what I was trying to mention earlier is, in the public's eye, we just see an artist or a band. They weren't on our radar, and all of a sudden they're everywhere.
Right.
They did become famous
Right.
overnight.
Yeah.
But
But
no.
kind of not. They took steps
All
to get
those
there.
little, I performed at the dock. I performed at my dad's company party. I performed at this
Yeah.
thing or did that and
Or
did this
I went
charity,
to college
blah, blah, blah.
and was in the orchestra with this other person, and they ended
Yeah, and it all
doing
like these little like time bombs and like stepping stones that will eventually amount to that eventual success,
Yeah, they say it takes
You know what?
10 years to become an overnight success.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
10 years in a night.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I do a drum take. How long did that drum take you? Why'd you charge me money for that? It took you 5 minutes. No, it took me 33 years and 5 minutes to do
get
that for you.
Yeah.
So what's
Yeah.
that worth to you? Is that
Mhm.
worth a couple $100? $1,000, $50.
Well,
Should I be paying you?
I guess it's a buyer's market at that
It
point
is.
too. You know.
But again, realizing that value, it's like, whoa, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, it didn't just happen right then and there.
And one of the reasons that I'm paying you for your 5 minutes of work is because you just saved me hours of time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Obtaining
you do
a quality,
get what you pay for. You
yeah,
get what you pay for.
And usually you obtain a quality that, like when I contract other people, I obtain a quality I couldn't have done on my own.
Yeah, or
And
that would have
quicker.
taken you longer at least.
Depending
Maybe
on
you
what's
could have done
going on.
But
Yeah, depending on what's...
if
if it's getting strings, no.
yeah, right.
If-
But yeah,
You
you
know.
just bring in the people that can speed you up and get you there faster. That's a great way to go.
So
That's part of also the failing hard is continuing to bring people in and trust other people with some of your tasks because it's not DIY anymore, people. It's do it together. It's DIT.
yeah,
You know.
I think I just had a really big revelation. So a second ago, I mentioned those little stepping stones, right? Those little milestones that you can stand on to get you up to that eventual success. And I was going to say, it's like these seemingly minuscule or seemingly failures, right?
Right.
That flop release, that botched TV interview, where you screwed it up, that song or that music video that was like, what were
Cringy.
they thinking?
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, just that really crappy show where no one showed up, that tour where no one showed up, like all these things, that road of just getting hit, It's like you grow back stronger and you use all these things and you build this momentum. So all these little failures are actually, I believe, the stepping stones.
They're all
of
a brick
success.
in the pyramid of your success.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute. Is this a pyramid scheme?
Well, whatever. I was thinking the same thing. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the other? I was just thinking about getting on stage and just having a hard show or a hard night or something on stage in front of people. And it's like, maybe it was a good thing that you went and sang in an open mic and you saw somebody yawning during your 6-minute ballad. And you went, maybe I should speed this song up or cut 3 verses or,
Fill up.
Fill
up.
So it's like the failures are actually how you learn more quickly.
So fail hard, fail big,
hard.
fail fast.
Fail hard. Bring your acoustic cello and try to put a mic on it and then play a super loud rock show and feedback the whole time and get really frustrated and be like, I can't hear myself. And then you're going to be like, oh yeah, when I play big electric shows, I have an electric instrument that plugs in and will never feedback and can always be monitored and it isn't as precious and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And then you'll just learn from those mistakes. It's like,
I know.
It's like that meme of like first gig and there's like a million drums and cymbals and all this stuff. And then it says 10th gig and it's literally this setup. It's like might even have one more cymbal. So you're on like the 20th gig.
I'm on the
today.
decline.
Yeah.
Or on the rise.
Yeah. If we need more, we can always add it. I mean, we could always overdub more drums.
I've got a whole room of drum stuff and I'm
Yeah.
using this,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I want to be able to see you.
yeah, there's other things that matter, and
Yeah.
you figure that out by failing. So
Yes.
I really don't think failure is not a negative term.
No.
That means you tried, you did something.
Mm-hmm.
I think a failure,
Procrastination and not doing is the real failure.
yeah, you lost.
And that's
a
like
loss.
failing small, where you're like, wah, wah. Whereas if you're just going to fail big and just go,
You at least get something
I mean,
out of
it
that.
sounded terrible, but it was also awesome at the same time. So it's like,
Yeah,
fail
I mean,
big.
I've heard from someone, let's say, or maybe a few people, because it's been a few people, who they'll contact me saying they want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, be a musician. I want to be a singer. I want to be famous.
My voice is so beautiful, I deserve to be a star. I feel like
You've had that one?
I feel like that's someone.
Wow.
I mean, they haven't said that exact words, but pretty close to it, I feel like.
Okay. And
there was the word deserve in there, which was very interesting. I deserve this. It's like, really? You deserve it, but you've taken no steps? Like, when you deserve something, you've earned it. You have taken all the steps, to get to that.
Like,
place.
I worked really hard. I deserve a break.
I didn't do
now.
anything, but I deserve it. It's like, you didn't do anything. You don't deserve. Brian, I didn't do anything to work on my music career, but I deserve to be a star. So what can I do?
Start failing.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Actually.
So you can get there.
And so that you can even gain the perspective to understand how ridiculous that is.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Because you don't even know the steps that need to be taken.
Check this out.
You have to get out there and fail your butt off.
Check this out. I think you're going to love this. So it's all coming together for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just coming in like lightning right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is good. I want to make eye contact. So, check this out. I hope you all love this as much as I do, because wow, this is great. So, failures, okay? Each failure, you're building the stepping stone of your staircase to success, right?
Absolutely.
Each time you go and do something, you failed a little bit. An attempt is not a success, right?
Right.
It's actually not.
Or thinking, intention is also not actually doing. Like, well, I really planned to do X, Y, and Z.
But when you go and do it, when you go play Warped Tour and you had your hand treated the morning before and you're in like excruciating pain and you just have to go and play that thing, man, that's a learning experience, And Blink-182 is playing right behind you. That was awesome.
Amazing.
But I learned from that and I gained a lot out of that. And that's one stepping stone that I built, that one failed attempt, on my path of where I'm trying to get to, that's gotten me to where I'm at and where I'm going. Without that, I wouldn't have learned all the things that I learned during that one attempt, that one failure, that one, sincere effort, right? If I just shied away from it and say, well, I'm not playing main stage and I'm not Green Day, I'm not Blink-182, I'm not Taylor Swift, or I'm not opening for Taylor Swift, so it's a whatever show, then you're missing the chance to build that step. How are you going to get to that other step? You forgot to build this one.
Right. You can't skip the steps.
Each failure is actually you're grabbing all the stuff and the ingredients and you're putting together, you're building that step to get to your success. So we were talking earlier, is failure, what did we say? Remember it was
failure.
I can't remember now. It was beautiful.
Failing is how you grow as an artist, too. So not only does it get you towards success in whatever that, mindset is, but it also gets you towards greatness as an artist. It allows you to hone your skills.
Which is step number one.
Yeah,
we harped on a bunch in episode 1.
Yeah.
Hone your craft. Become
craft.
amazing. Become indispensable.
Yep.
And there will always be a place for greatness. Right now, there's an oversaturated market of mediocrity.
Yeah.
And it's growing fast.
There's a lot of boring stuff out there that doesn't make me want to care. It is not arresting enough to me to get my attention.
And now if you hone your craft, hone your art, and you get out there and you make something that's great, that's, Hobo Johnson-esque, where it's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, it was like totally wild
Whoa.
and crazy, but
and he was
works.
committed to it.
Yep.
He's committed to what he's doing.
Yep.
You know, that's going to make noise. It's going to cut through the sea of mediocrity. And you
Just like everyone was all talking about Brandy Carlisle's Grammy performance, because she just had so much passion. She did such a great job. She embodied the song. She really made this huge impact for people. And that's like, you can't do that by being safe. You have to put your whole heart out there on stage, and you can't be guarded and safe and just play by the rules, or then you're forgettable.
And I feel like the mediocrity is like the sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the noise floor.
Yeah.
It's the white noise, those waveforms, and the peaks are the greatnesses, the little peaks of greatness, and they just shine up above the rest. And it's like that sea of mediocrity is raising you up on this pedestal.
You mean all the killer waves are floating on top of and feeding off of the sea of mediocrity?
Yes, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
It's a cool visual,
It's
huh?
fun to be that.
I see this like
It's fun to be an orca.
I always talk about, yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's so cool. I always talk about contrast, right? In music and in art, making things pop.
Yeah.
You have this black background, it makes what's in front of it pop, creating contrast. When you have all this mediocrity, well, now there's some contrast, for greatness to kind of pop against.
Mm-hmm.
And
Especially
it's like, whoa,
with
what's
something's
that?
kind of different, that always helps. If you have something that's unique, lean into that.
And when did Brandy Carlisle become a great singer? What day?
Right? It's been an evolution of over her whole life. I mean, when I first played on her first record back in the 90s, I think it might have been, or 2000s. I don't know when her first record was. I forget, but it was a long time ago. Probably wasn't 90s, but it was like 2000s.
How did her singing back then compare to the Grammy?
I mean, pretty close.
She's amazing.
She was already great. So, I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, she's definitely grown as an artist. Certainly her probably embodiment of the material is better now than it probably would have been back then. But she's always been great. In fact, she's always had a really big impact on any crowd that she's been in front of.
But what about before she had a big impact on a crowd?
Well,
or was the crowd smaller? Was it her high school, junior high?
I'm sure it was. I mean,
there was a beginning.
There was a beginning.
She wasn't just that way.
No.
There's very few people.
No.
Mozart was a prodigy by 4, right?
Yeah, but even then, who knows how many of the staff wrote his material or whatever. We don't know what all happened back then.
So anyway,
there's all kinds of crazy rumors.
You're like splitting hairs.
But
at
yeah,
that
I mean,
point.
she's continued to improve immensely, even though there is no point where I can pinpoint where that is. It's just a ramp,
So I really want to kind of close out, like bring us home with that story, okay. Of this one girl in particular, and maybe a couple others, have said some very similar things to me before, and it just boggles my mind, because what they said to me just the other day is, I want to be famous. I want to be a famous singer. I'm like, okay, that's a fine goal, right? Mm-hmm. That's okay to want that and to be that.
Yes.
I think a lot of people that was a goal of theirs.
Yeah.
Some it wasn't. It just happened through the course of doing their thing. But I think wanting that is fine. That's a cool goal. And, and she said, what do I do? And I said, start. Simple.
Yeah. ...
Start.
And then she says, but I don't have the money.
I said, well, before that, I said, start. Or it's simple. Start. And then I said, remove, excuses. Replace excuses with solutions. It's the anti-matter.
Mm-hmm.
The anti of each other, right? So excuses, procrastination, reasons why I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there's reasons why I can't do anything.
And then Solutions. Creative solutions where you work around. You build a bridge over the obstacle. You dig a trench around. It's a 2-step
process. 2 steps. Everyone says, in 3 easy steps. It's 2-step process. Quote me on this. Ask anyone out there who's uber famous and challenge them. Say, I heard that there's 2 steps to success. Is this true for you? Step 1, start. Start down the path. Step 2, replace excuses with solutions. Repeat that until you've made it.
Yep. That's all you have to do.
That's it.
If there's an obstacle in your way, you dig a trench around it or knock on the door next to it. And there isn't just one avenue for you. So you can get some stilts and you can pogo over the obstacle. You get a hot air balloon and fly over the obstacle.
Totally. And so she says to me, well, what if my only reason is money? I don't have money. And I go, simple, make money. So issue or excuse, replace the excuse with a problem. Problems are okay. And when it's an excuse, you don't come up with a solution. When it's a problem, okay, I can solve it. Great. Right. You make the decision, you predetermine, I'm going to solve this problem. Mm-hmm. I'm going to create a solution for this problem rather than just complain about it and let it stop me. So you create a solution. I said, simple, make money.
Yeah.
How? She says, how? I go,
multitude of ways.
Yeah, get a job that takes too long. And I don't have help from people to watch my kids and support and this and that. I said, you don't need a job. Just go start something. Go sing. Go sing on the side of the street in downtown. Well, I'm not good enough yet. Well, that's an excuse. You're going to get better by doing it.
Yeah.
Start
quickly,
singing.
Actually.
Very quickly.
Busking will really make you either good or
You're
go
constantly
home.
releasing while practicing and
doing.
Talk
about failing hard.
That's going
a great
big.
way to fail hard.
I'll bet
Go out on the street corner and play your instrument.
I'll bet you in 2 weeks, you're a whole new person.
You'll be a better musician.
Yeah, that's not no small
But you're going to
thing.
get a lot of dirty looks. You're going to get people not appreciating
and
how
you'll
great
get
you are.
Stream revenue in that hat
and
on the street.
you will make money. And you will have people that are stoked on you and take your business card or whatever.
And then I said, okay, here's some things you could do all with your kid or kids if childcare is an issue. House cleaning for your friends. Babysitting for your friends that have kids. Nannying, doing laundry, yard work, all these different things that can happen.
Can you Amazon deliver with your kids in the car?
Yeah, you can.
You probably could.
You can. Amazon deliver, not Uber and stuff like that.
Maybe pizza,
though.
Think. I mean, there's probably some of those things you could do. Uber Eats or...
The thing is, we're in America, okay? This is land of opportunity.
And there are opportunities, people. And we're on the side of helping people make money.
Yes. Now, this is a big revelation I had a few years ago. America's a land of opportunity, not the land of entitlement.
Absolutely.
It's becoming the land of entitlement, which is dangerous. But if we replace that mentality with, hey, this is a land of opportunity, if there's an opportunity, it's nothing if I don't go seek it.
Yes.
And execute, right? And just looking at, oh, wow, look at that opportunity. And you just watch it go by, nothing will happen. Someone else will grab it. Oh, opportunity.
Yeah.
Like the game Contra, when the balloons fly by and whoever shoots it and grabs it gets the opportunity.
Yeah.
That went by. That's my laser. It's my rocket launcher, my spread, And so I just kept hearing excuses back. So I kept offering solutions, just trying to be helpful. And because I get it, I've been there and I can still be there if I'm not careful.
Oh, totally.
And we're like humans.
And it's easy to lose that perspective when you're in your survival mode thing and you feel like you can't
just
get
keep
out from
letting
under the water level and
you just let all the negative feed into that and you just feed off of it.
And so we're not actually complaining about people who feel this way. We're actually here to help them.
Yes, absolutely.
This is our mission.
So there's a big psychological battle. What is in between where people are at and where they want to get is the psychological battle. Right? What's keeping you from deciding to do what you should be doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Procrastination has got to be a psychological battle. Right? It's that battlefield of the mind. And if you can hit those things head on and come up with, we'll talk about some stuff in later episodes about ways you can kind of arm yourself to, plow through that stuff.
And discipline, self-discipline. In
set
that
yourself
regard.
up for success rather than,
Well, once
the heavy
again,
weight.
that can go back to calendar hygiene. What if you were this person that wants to be famous and you just got out the calendar and you said, I'm going to go to this many open mics, or I'm going to go just visit Brian's studio and watch how he works so that maybe I'm educating myself on what I'm getting myself into. Or I'm going to go downtown and play guitar for X amount of hours a week, or open mics, or all kinds of opportunities.
So one thing I've done,
and put it in the calendar.
Yeah, one thing I've done for
it.
A lot of voice students that I've worked with, artists, that I'm training up, we do an outline. And I outline their entire, so I say, I have them talk to me, vent and spill to me like what their goal is. I want to do this for a living. Okay, cool. Now we know, become a musician who lives off of being a musician, original covers, whatever it is. And when do you want to reach this goal by? 5 years, 1 year. Okay, cool. Now let's work on our 3 year, 6 month, 9 month. And we literally map out, just like an outline for an essay, how they're going to go and execute that. And, most of them have not followed through and they didn't reach their goals. So that plan is still in place. They could still start that anytime and it'll work. It'll definitely work. But, there's that psychological battle. Like, I'm not there now. I'm not there yet. You remember, you have to build those stepping stones, those milestones of failures to create those steps to get to success.
But also, remember, you're never going to feel like you're there yet.
Phil, have you arrived?
Throw away no, I have not arrived.
Are you really good at cello?
I'm very good at the cello, but more than that, I'm very, I'm on a ton of records. But I've got way more I want to do. Have you arrived?
No, I can do things that I used to only dream of. I'm in a studio I used to only be able to dream of. I had no money, no way of making any of this happen. And now I have gear and things and stuff and opportunities just laying around that I forget about.
Well, you don't even have enough hands
to
take advantage of the opportunities.
I don't.
That's how
there's an abundance.
Awesome your life is. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's my
dope.
Complaint now.
Right.
It's like, how do I get to it all?
Yeah. Well, me too. I'm like,
because I want to do it better.
And I also have a lot of people that need my help and want my help. And I'm like, I can almost barely get to everybody's thing.
But how did we get there?
There was no point. And we will also never feel like, you're not going to feel like you're there unless you just stop for a second and look at living in the present helps you actually feel more like you're arrived. Because really the dream as an artist, we're trying to help people make money and ourselves too. But the real dream as an artist is to be happy with your art. And that's one of the first levels
the
of
personal
art.
Success, right?
If you are happy with something enough that you can show someone else or get on stage and play that thing, you're winning.
Yes.
You have arrived.
Yes.
Okay? So now it's just about sustainability. Okay? If you're happy with your art, you've arrived.
And that's what I mean by hone your craft. Get to that point where it's like, I'll play something, I'll dial in a drum sound in the studio that everyone's like, wow. And I'm like, wow. Step
Done.
1.
Check.
Now.
Arrived. Now, but if you're just, I deserve to be famous, you haven't even arrived. You're not even saying...
You just graduated high school when you get there.
You haven't even made a song yet that you're happy with. So at that point, you're not an artist yet.
Wouldn't you say that would be like graduating high school?
I would say that's when you become an artist. When you release something that you're happy with.
Oh, when you release something.
That is a moment, I would say. That would be a way of looking at it.
But I mean, the honing part, where you're happy with what you can do now, that's like the starting point.
Yes, exactly.
You've arrived at the end of high school. You got your diploma. Now what are you going to go make with it?
Now you have to find the ways that your talent is going to sustain you and your skills are going to sustain you, because now you're an adult. If you just graduated high school, now you're an adult and you have to pay your bills. No one's coming to pay your bills for you because you're an adult.
And the only way you're going to pay your bills is if you
Fail hard.
fail hard, fail big, fail fast.
So Expiration Date is the name of this series, and that is because everything great has an expiration date.
Don't get your priorities straight,
Don't procrastinate.
or you'll be too late. Don't procrastinate. Create.
And fail hard in the creation as well. You have to just go for it. Fail hard!
What?
Fail hard!
Fail hard.
Fail hard!
Fail hard. Fail hard.
Fail hard.
Fail hard. What? Fail hard. Fail hard. Fail fast. Fail hard. Fail hard. Fail hard.
Fail hard. Die or survive.
I feel a fail coming.
Plug in.
Everything great has an expiration date. Don't procrastinate. Create. Plug in, plug in, plug in, plug in, plug in, plug in, plug in.
Fail hard. Fail hard. Fail hard.
Don't procrastinate.